Hi and welcome to a new video. In this video I want to go through using the Asus VPN Fusion option. So as in previous videos I've gone through the VPN menu where we've set up the VPN servers using OpenVPN, etc. And that's normally just for you to access your home network from external. So if you're outside of your house and you want to connect back to your home network, you can use the VPN servers that are built into the Asus routers and things like that. But in this case, I actually want to show you how to use VPN Fusion. So it's quite a new feature that's been out, and I don't think I've done any previous videos on it. So it is a handy where if you have a specific need that any devices on your home network, say I think normally most people will use this function for their TV streaming boxes, so that's your Android or Apple TVs and things like that, or any other IPTV boxes, or even a device that you want for any specific reason to reflect that it's in a different country. So what you can do using VPN Fusion, and it's built into the Asus routers, is where you can select a certain device. So that means that it won't slow down or affect any other devices on your network. You can select that specific device, sort of like your Apple TV or your streaming box, and then you can set it up so that's the only device that goes through this VPN service to make it reflect that it's in a different country. So in some instances people use that, so like in the UK, if we want to see the video selection from America through Netflix or anything like that, then we can use this to make our TV streaming boxes reflect that, make it look like that it's in America, so we get a different selection. So if we just move on, so as you can see here, we're in the actual dashboard of the router. So what you'll first need to do is go into VPN, and that will load up, and then you'll be able to see that you've got the normal options up here. So we want to go to the tab VPN Fusion. You will need a third-party VPN service, so normally it's a paid for service. So in this instance I'm using NordVPN. I only use this because it was the cheapest at the time, and I think I got like a 3-year license and I got cash back and it was in a discount kind of thing. And I found I've used it for several years and they seem to be quite reliable with speed and everything else, and the app is quite user friendly. But there is other VPN services out there. I would like, if you do use a different VPN service, put in the comments, because I think it will help other people as well, because I know there's lots of others, and speaking to other people as well, there might be some better services out there for different regions around the world. So it would be good if you could share that information as well with everyone and help the community out. So as we see here, we're under the VPN Fusion tab. So what we want to do, as it says here, is quite straightforward. We just want to add a profile. So if we click on here, so most of these services, they will be using the VPN type OpenVPN. Some will be using the new WireGuard, where you have the information. So depending on what service you actually have, you'll ask you for different kinds of options. But normally most of them, I think majority, will be using OpenVPN. And then this makes it more straightforward. As you can see here, all you need basically to have is the connection name. So if we just call this, I can just call this for my Apple TV USA. So of course I want this to make it look like the Apple TV is in the USA. I've got the OpenVPN, so this is the selection I will get from my account, and then it asks for a username and password. And then you have the device option we'll come to in a minute. So where it says import the file, so normally you'll download this from your VPN service. So as I said, in this instance I'm using NordVPN. So if I just go to my account, I've already logged in, and you'll be able to see that on my dashboard, depending again on what service you are, you probably need to search for it. But on this one, you can see here, I've got their manual setup, and it gives me a username and password. and all I do is I need to copy this username and password into the different fields here. So you can see I can just paste that in and then come back here and then copy the password. So I've got their information there. So normally this username and password will be different to your normal login that you use for your VPN service. So just be wary of that. Don't try and use your normal one, because most of them have a different username and password that's specific for this. Then you'll see that now I've got the username and password. Now I need to download that file as it says back here, where I need to import. So I need to download that file. Of course, on NordVPN, again, I need to go to the server page here. So this is a selection of different servers you can choose from. So what you'll need to do if you are using NordVPN or any other ones is, if it does gives you any other options, if it gives you an advanced option, it's best to select that. And now, so as I'm in the UK, of course this will be different for each country that you're in. I want this one to be in the United States. So you can see here it's choosing the best recommended server for me for the USA. But also I need to select the server type. And as you can see here, it's got several options. If you do have a streaming dedicated server option, then select that. On my one, I just needed a standard VPN, so that's fine. And you can see it updates it each time. And then also, most importantly, I need to make sure on the actual server here. So this is the file type, and of course we selected OpenVPN, and that is the easiest, to be honest, setup. As you saw, if it is WireGuard, then sometimes it can be a bit of a faster connection, but you've got a lot more settings there to go through. So I would advise stick to OpenVPN. And you do if you do have the choice, like I have, of TCP or UDP. UDP is quicker than TCP as a connection, but just as secure. So if you have the choice, then select the UDP option. And you can see here it's now given me the server that I need, and you can also click on here to download the file. So now I just want to download the config file. So as you can see here, before it was hidden, so I just need to show here, and then I just click download. I then download this to my downloads folder. So as you can see here, it's downloaded, and now I just want to go back to the Asus router, and now it says import that file. So as you can see here that where I've saved the file in my downloads folder, I just need to select that now. So if I click import and I go to my file, so as you can see here the file that I've downloaded, and click open. That automatically, as you see here, upload to the router, and it says complete, so you know that you've uploaded it successfully. Next option is where you can select, and again this is optional, but this is more specific as we're going through. We don't want all devices going through this VPN server, so I want to choose a specific one. So in this example, we can say that, pretend that I'm choosing the Apple TV. So you can choose your device. You click the little pencil, it'll give you a list of all the devices connected. So if you don't see your device, just make sure it's switched on and connected to the network by Ethernet or Wi-Fi. And then just in this case, I will just use this as an example, but you'll look for your specific device. I'll just select this and then click the X. Oh, sorry, I should have left that as select that. And then you can come down and click OK. So now you can see that device has been on here. You can see it's been selected. And now I just say apply and enable. It may disconnect and restart your router, but it shouldn't do. It'll just update the settings. It'll give it a few minutes, because it will have to apply these settings and everything else. And again, as we've only chosen that one device, you will then have to just might have to reconnect any devices. So as you can see here, it's now asked me to log back into the router. So I'll just log back in and then go back to the VPN, and VPN Fusion, and you can see here now I've got the Apple TV option, and you can see I've got it toggled switched on. So I click on the little arrow, it'll give you the details and everything else on here, where you can change it. So again, you can then toggle to switch this off. So it says actually apply to all devices, and we don't want that, so we can switch that off. So then we just got that one device that needs to go through it, and now that should work. So now all you'll need to do is just try out your device that you've selected, and hopefully it will give you the option now of different selection of videos and things like that, so it's not geo locked and things like that. If you do have any issues where you actually can't connect, or the Netflix says you are you're not allowed to connect for some reason, that might be sometimes that, you know, Netflix and or the service that you're using, they're quite clever, so they do realize that the people will do it this way, and they try and block certain servers. So all you would have to do is just go back to your server selection and just try and select another server. So just basically reset this or whichever service you're using, and just try another server. You might have to try several times sometimes, or you might be lucky the first time, and eventually you'll get a server that actually works, and you can just stick with that. But sometimes it is just a bit of trial and error, so just be warned with that problem that sometimes occurs. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this quick tutorial on going through it. As usual, my quick tutorials end up being a bit longer than I expect, but hopefully it's gone into enough detail, so if you have any issues, I've covered them all here. Again, if you have any questions, then please leave them in the comments, and I'll try my best to get back to you as quick as I can. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.